I have just completed my 100th Pilates class, all in the efforts of researching, is this trend really worth it? Do you really see a difference if you stick to it? By golly, I stuck to it. And I'm here to share all of my thoughts on if I like reformer Pilates, if I've noticed a change in my body, if I think it's worth the hype, or if I just think it's an expensive trend. Let's get into it. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Michel, and I would consider myself not very athletic at all. Like, the most athletic things I've done in my life is tap dancing, if that gives you any picture. But I have always loved to try a workout class and stick to it. I went through a cycling phase for a while. I went through a Orange Theory phase for a while. And I have been in my Pilates princess era for a bit. First, I want to specify the type of Pilates I've been trying, because there's actually quite a few types. There's mat Pilates, hot mat Pilates, reformer Pilates. There's spin-offs like Legree. I even think solid core. I've never been to a solid core class, but I hear that that is also kind of its own spin-off of some Pilates type things. I have been doing just kind of traditional reformer Pilates. I have tried a couple different studios, and I have found that some are much more kind of like stretch based. Some are a little more cardio focused. The studio that I've been committing to, I would say, is very strength focused. Like, it's not just kind of like lay on your back and do a lot of stretchy type things, but it's not like use a jump board and really get your heart rate up either. It's a lot of slow, steady, heavy, weighted, balance focused movements. The reason I chose to commit to Pilates is a big goal that I have had for myself is I just want to develop strength. A little context, maybe this will help apply to you, I'm not sure. I have very weak joints. I have hypermobility. I have something suspected in my family called HEDS, which is like basically a syndrome where my joints dislocate all the time. I will be sleeping and roll over in bed and literally roll out of my shoulder and dislocate my shoulder. Like, it's bad. So for me, I looked at reformer Pilates as quite possibly a good alternative to slowly building strength in a way that was very customizable. And something that I do like about Pilates too is it focuses on all of these little tiny small stabilizing muscles. Oftentimes you have one foot on a still platform and one foot on the part of the machine that glides and moves, and you are gliding your foot out and doing a squat, all while trying not to fall flat on your face. And that is working on those little muscles that are going to keep my joints in place. I did do some dance growing up. I would compare this to utilizing some of the same muscles that you use in ballet when you're doing exercises at the bar. And ballerinas, you see, have those kind of long, lean, toned muscles, not those really bulky, bulked up muscles. Something that I do love about Pilates is it is very female focused. I would say most of my classes are 95% female. Every once in a while, you do have someone bringing along their brother or their husband. I've drugged my husband to a class before. Something I enjoy about class as well is every single class is different. I have never had two classes that are the same. Ever. Maybe we will do some similar types of movements, but the sequences are always completely different. So I kind of just trust that process, that I'm not going to just overwork the exact same muscle and then forget about working other muscles. I feel like it's so well-rounded that if I keep going, every single area of me is going to be targeted eventually within a week. You know what I mean? I also do love that there are a good number of workouts that you do laying down. I mean, it's a great feeling to spend half of class on your back and then wake up the next morning so sore. You're like, wow, what a win-win. So much of Pilates is core focused. I've seen TikTok trends going around where people say Pilates ruined my core. And sometimes it's jokingly, because then you see them afterward and they have actual literal abs. But sometimes it's serious, and it's because if you are not engaging your core correctly, you could be training your muscles to work in an incorrect way. So I think because of that, going to a Pilates studio that really focuses on technique is a very critical difference between enjoying your classes and enjoying your results versus not. Oftentimes too, you'll be sitting on a machine doing arm workouts, but in a way to where you're scooped in. You're doing a C curve, they call it, and your core is engaged literally while you're just pulling these machine ropes. The way the machine works, if you've never taken a class before, there's springs on the inside of the machine. There's 2 reds, 2 blues and a yellow or something, like 3 reds, 2 blues and a yellow. And those all correspond to different weights. So red is going to be the heaviest, and then the other colors get lighter from there. And there's 2 rows of pegs. So you could take your spring from the closer peg to the further peg and add more weight as well. And then there is a foot bar and there's straps that you can put the straps on your hands, you could put the straps on your thighs, you could put the straps on your feet. And it's kind of like all the machines in a gym, but in one compact thing. You just have to know how to adjust the weight and how to do workouts properly to activate different muscles. So I love that it's like all of those giant machines that you see in the gym, you can kind of work out the same muscles and customize the weight to what you need, all in one thing that you stay on the whole time. Also, something that I love about classes is they always give modifications to make an exercise a little more beginner friendly or a little more advanced. So they'll give you kind of like a baseline of here's this exercise that we're doing. If you want to make this easier, you can drop down to your knees instead of holding a plank while we're doing this exercise. If you want to make this harder, then when we do this, between each one, you're gonna dip down into a push-up. So I do feel like as long as you are very in tune with your body and aware of, oh, this might be a little too challenging for me right now, or, oh, I've been doing this for a while and I'm kind of coasting, I think I can take it up another notch. If you're in tune with your body, then I feel like over the course of time, you can continue to improve and build strength and not really hit as much of like a stagnant lull. I have taken so many types of classes in the past, like cycling, for example, where when it is the same thing every day, I kind of feel like after a while, I have done all that I can do. Like I'm craving more variety. I'm craving utilizing new parts of my body and my muscles. Whereas in Pilates, you do so much variety and you have so much customization that I feel like reaching that lull is not as probable. Also, a perk, vibes are just good. At least the studio I am going to, but there are a lot of studios around me where they're just cute. They're a nice interior. The instructors are cute and nice. They play great music. Like something about all of those elements makes it feel so much more inviting and exciting to go and work out. So it's just nice to have a space that feels like it is a treat to go and that the playlist is great. You end with a little bit of like a stretch, feet in straps, some breathing, some mindfulness. It kind of feels like it has some of the same benefits as yoga a little bit because you do end every class in that way, and I feel refreshed and like in a good headspace at the end of every class. Being in a class like that as opposed to a gym, I don't have my phone on me and I can't look at my phone. And I have noticed such benefits to my brain, my mental health in general. So many of my creative ideas come to me in the middle of Pilates class, and I think it's because we are doing some repetition and movement, so I don't have to like use all my brain power to focus on what I'm doing. And I am in a class on a machine far away from my phone, so it forces me to be a little more mindful and present when I'm working out and focusing on that. But also I have these like thoughts that bubble up in the middle of class. So many of my video concept ideas come to me in Pilates class. Like it is better than shower thoughts. Honestly, that's probably my fault because in the shower, I usually play audiobooks. So I literally don't let myself have an original thought. It's problematic. A possible downside to class, I would say, is that it really is not very cardio focused. Sometimes I will feel my heart rate elevate if we're doing a plank series that always gets my heart rate going, or if we're doing like a very hard balanced lunge series. My heart rate is elevated a bit, but not the same amount as if I were to do cardio. So some hole that I am seeing in my current schedule is I'm pretty much spending all of my free time that I have to work out doing Pilates because I got a membership and I want to utilize my membership to get the most bang out of my buck. But it would probably be healthy for me to mix in some sort of cardiovascular exercise, whether that is cycling or walking on an incline or something like that, because I know heart health is very important as we age. So if you are relying on reformer Pilates as your only form of exercise, I could see that being a potential downside. Let's talk about the changes that I have noticed in my body. First and foremost, I have not been subluxing or dislocating hardly at all. I haven't had a shoulder in months. And that is crazy because it used to be like kind of almost a bi-weekly thing that I would at least sublux and like have to grab my shoulder and pull it back in. That was the main goal of mine for this class, and I feel like I have accomplished it. I would say around class number 70, when you're facing the mirror working out, we would be doing some tricep things, some shoulder things. I noticed, is that a little muscle? Zoom in, but am I seeing a little muscle definition right now? I have never seen myself look strong. I have always been the type of person that was either really lean or just kind of like not muscular, but curvaceous. So those have been the two body types I have been used to seeing myself with. And this was the first time that I thought, wait a minute, am I getting some muscle? Am I adding muscle mass to my body right now? Because if so, that is so exciting. Full transparency, I know whenever people talk about bodies and weight and things like that, sometimes it's triggering, so I will talk about that in this next little segment. I am actually the heaviest I have ever been in my life currently. I have, worked on trying to eat enough calories and put on weight, and now I'm transitioning to working on trying to put on muscle. So I think that I have been successfully putting on muscle mass underneath the weight that I put on. So if I were to be, one of those bodybuilder type girls and go through like a cut phase, I bet I would see more muscle underneath that I just can't visually see right now. But that's not something that I feel like is healthy for me, nor something that I desire to do. I really just want to feel stronger, and I do feel stronger, which has been a really great thing. I will say, it literally took until class 70 before I started to kind of see some of those muscles maybe peeking through a little bit. But the mental benefits of taking classes I felt immediately, and the strength in my joints I probably felt around class 30 or 40. A downside I have noticed to my body is lately my knees have been bothering me, which my knees don't normally bother me from a stability perspective because I stay pretty far away from like super high impact things on those joints. But as of late, I have noticed when I'm doing plank sequences or something like that where I have to lock my knees, I have noticed my knees like kind of catch and either feel like they might slip or pop. And I don't like that feeling. I'm gonna look into some knee braces. Perhaps it's something I'm doing wrong in my form. Perhaps it's unrelated to Pilates, something I'm doing just in my life in general. But that's the first negative consequence or side effect that I have felt in my body recently. Otherwise, all of my other joints that used to give me an issue now feel so much better. So all in all, I would say I do enjoy being a Pilates princess. I should probably mix in some more cardio just for the sake of my heart health and my mental health. But I have noticed great improvements in the way I feel day to day and in the stability in my body and in my like mental state when I actually get to work out and take an hour unplugged from my devices. So huge. The only gear that you need to bring to a Pilates class is your own grip socks, and I feel like so many places do charge a lot for that. I have found this pack on Amazon where it's a pack of like 5 different colors for $20-something. So per pair is literally like a sixth of the cost of what most studios will charge you. So don't buy your socks at your studio, buy them online. But those are my overall thoughts after trying 100 classes. I'm not done. I want to keep going because I do really enjoy it. So I think that that's kind of a testament in and of itself. But I also need to start walking more. I love y'all. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're new here, I have a goal of trying to hit 250,000 subscribers by the end of 2025. I don't think I'm gonna reach that goal, but I'm still vocalizing it just in case miracles do happen. It would mean a lot if you wanted to hang out with me over here and click that subscribe button, but no pressure ever. I love y'all. I hope you have the best rest of your day, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.